Imagine a quiet English village in the early 1800s, where life is simple and everyone knows each other's business. Now, picture the shock when a mysterious young woman appears, claiming to be a princess from a distant, unknown land. Did you know a cobbler's daughter once convinced an entire English town she was royalty? This isn't just a legend whispered over candlelight. This is a true story that captivated an entire community and left historians scratching their heads for generations. Meet Mary Baker, a woman whose name would soon be replaced by a far more exotic title, Princess Caraboo. With nothing but her wits, a flair for drama, and a made-up language, she spun a tale so convincing that even the most skeptical townsfolk were swept up in her fantasy. Her transformation from an ordinary cobbler's daughter to a supposed royal was so complete, it fooled not just the villagers, but the learned and powerful as well. For 10 astonishing weeks, Mary, now Princess Caraboo, held the city of Bristol in the palm of her hand. She dressed in elaborate, unfamiliar clothing, spoke in a language no one could decipher, and performed rituals that seemed both strange and enchanting. The city's elite, always eager for novelty and mystery, welcomed her into their drawing rooms and parlors, eager to be part of her story. Scholars and linguists tried to decode her speech, convinced they were witnessing a living link to a far-off civilization. Artists competed to capture her likeness, immortalizing her in paint and charcoal. The gentry, proud of their discovery, defended her authenticity with passion, certain they had uncovered a genuine princess in their midst. Newspapers across England buzzed with headlines about the mysterious foreign princess. But as her fame grew, so did the suspicions. Whispers of doubt began to circulate, and soon Mary found herself at the center of a dramatic investigation. Her story is a wild ride of deception, showing just how far imagination and nerve can go, and how easily people can be swept up by the extraordinary. Mary Baker's journey from a poor, unremarkable country girl to a celebrated princess is one of history's boldest and most audacious cons. She reinvented herself completely, using little more than her creativity and courage to step into a world that would otherwise have been closed to her forever. It's a tale of survival against the odds, of quick thinking, and the power of storytelling. Mary's adventure reminds us how belief, whether in ourselves or in a captivating stranger, can shape reality, for better or worse. Let's turn the page and dive into the astonishing, almost unbelievable story of Princess Caraboo, a woman who dared to dream, and for a brief moment, made the world believe in her dream too. The year is 1817, and the quiet English village of Almondsbury is about to be shaken by an event that will leave its mark on history. Nestled among rolling green hills and winding country lanes, Almondsbury is a place where everyone knows each other, and strangers are a rare sight. Life here moves at a gentle pace, with villagers gathering at the local inn to share news and gossip, and the rhythms of the countryside dictating daily routines. One chilly evening, as dusk settles over the village, a young woman appears on the main road. She is dressed in strange, foreign clothing that no one recognizes, her manner reserved and her eyes wide with confusion. She speaks in a language that none of the villagers can understand, her words tumbling out in urgent, unfamiliar sounds. When offered food, she refuses everything except for a simple cup of tea, sipping it with a mixture of relief and apprehension. The villagers, both curious and concerned, gather around her, whispering theories and exchanging worried glances. Unsure what to do, they decide to bring her to the home of Samuel and Elizabeth Worrall, the local magistrate and his compassionate wife, hoping they might know how to help. The Worralls welcome her into their candlelit parlor, determined to unravel the mystery. They try every method they can think of to communicate, speaking in different languages, showing her maps of distant lands, and even calling upon travelers who have seen the world. Yet, nothing seems to bridge the gap. The woman remains a puzzle, her origins and intentions hidden behind a wall of silence and confusion. Then, in a moment that startles everyone, she points to a pineapple on the table, bows her head, and utters the words Allah Ta'ala in prayer. She performs a series of strange rituals, gestures that seem both foreign and deeply meaningful, leaving the Worralls and their guests even more intrigued. News of the mysterious stranger spreads like wildfire through Almondsbury. The villagers are abuzz with speculation. Some whisper that she must be a lost princess from a distant land, while others suspect she is a fugitive on the run. The entire town is captivated, and soon people from neighboring villages begin to arrive, eager to catch a glimpse of the enigmatic visitor. The Worrells, especially the kind-hearted Elizabeth, take the woman under their wing. Elizabeth is convinced that their guest is a noblewoman who has fallen on hard times, and she becomes fiercely protective, determined to shield her from prying eyes and idle gossip. They offer her shelter, food, and a place of honor in their home, treating her as a guest of great importance. The mysterious woman is given a warm bed, fine clothes, and the respect reserved for someone of high status. Yet, beneath the surface, questions linger. Who is this woman, really? What secrets does she carry? Her enigmatic expression and secretive behavior only deepen the mystery, as the Worrells and the villagers try to piece together the truth. Unbeknownst to them, they are about to become part of one of the most elaborate deceptions in English history, a tale that will soon grip the nation and leave everyone wondering how much of what they see can truly be believed. Mary Baker knew she couldn't just look the part. She had to become Princess Caraboo. She invented a language, adopted exotic customs, and claimed to be from the island of Javasu, kidnapped by pirates. She swam in lakes, shot arrows, and cooked her own spiced meals, all to reinforce her foreign persona. With Mrs. Worrell's help, her attire became more elaborate, and her regal bearing convinced everyone she was born to rule. Mary's performance was flawless, never breaking character, always remembering her invented words and customs. Her backstory of peril and escape made her even more compelling. For 10 weeks, she lived as royalty, her every move scrutinized and admired. It was a masterclass in improvisation and survival. Mary's greatest trick was her invented language. Even an Oxford expert was fooled, declaring it a real, unknown dialect and documenting its grammar. She created names for everything, wrote a fake alphabet, and translated English words on the spot. Her language became her shield. No one could question her if they couldn't understand her. Scholars, eager for discovery, saw meaning where there was none, reinforcing her story. The more mysterious she seemed, the more people wanted to believe. Her language wasn't just a tool, it was a mirror, reflecting the hopes and biases of those around her. Confirmation bias did the rest. Once taken in by the Worrells, Mary's life transformed overnight. She went from poverty to luxury, entertaining the elite with her customs and stories. Visitors flocked to see her, bringing gifts and commissioning portraits. The upper class's belief in her story gave it legitimacy. If they believed, so did everyone else. Doubts were dismissed, social proof protected her. For Mary, it was surreal. From hardship to high society, she navigated it all with poise. She played her role so well, she almost became the character she invented. For a brief moment, she truly lived her dream. News of Princess Caraboo exploded in the press. Local papers published sensational stories, and soon, national and even European outlets picked it up. Journalists repeated the Worrells' narrative without question, making her a national sensation. The more her story spread, the more real it seemed. If it was in the papers, it had to be true. The media frenzy amplified her fame, but also increased the risk of exposure. Thousands now saw her face, raising the odds someone would recognize her. The press, chasing a great story, became part of the legend. But the attention that made her famous would soon unravel her secret. Princess Caraboo's undoing began with a skeptical sailor, Captain Richard Eady. Having traveled the Malay archipelago, he recognized her language and customs as fake. He visited Knoll Park, tested her with real dialects, and saw through the act. But it was Mrs. Neal, a Bristol boarding house owner, who truly exposed her. She recognized Mary from a newspaper portrait. This was no princess, but her former lodger, Mary Wilcox, who'd entertained her children with the same made-up language. Mrs. Neal went to the Worrells and told all. The game was up. The truth was out. The legend was about to collapse. With Mrs. Neal's testimony, Princess Caraboo's world collapsed. Confronted by the Worrells, Mary confessed her real name was Mary Baker, and everything, language, island, pirates, was a fabrication. The public reaction was a mix of outrage, embarrassment, and reluctant admiration. Scholars and gentry were humiliated, newspapers printed retractions, yet many admired Mary's audacity. She'd outsmarted the powerful with nothing but her wits. The Worralls, perhaps out of affection or embarrassment, didn't press charges. Instead, they helped her capitalize on her fame. Mary briefly took her act to the stage, even traveling to America. Her royal tale unraveled, but the legend of Princess Caraboo was just beginning. The world had been fooled, but it couldn't help but be fascinated. Why does Mary Baker's story endure? What is it about her tale that continues to fascinate us, centuries after she first appeared in that quiet English village? The answer lies not just in the details of her deception, but in what her story reveals about human nature itself, because it reveals our longing for wonder and our willingness to believe the extraordinary. In a world often ruled by routine and predictability, the arrival of someone so mysterious, so different, was like a spark in the darkness. People wanted to believe in Princess Caraboo, not just because her story was convincing, but because it offered them a glimpse of something magical. Princess Caraboo offered escape from the mundane, a splash of color in a gray world. She was a living fairy tale, a character who stepped out of the pages of a storybook and into the lives of ordinary people. Her presence challenged the boundaries of reality and imagination, inviting everyone to dream a little bigger. Her tale is a lesson in trust, gullibility, and the power of a compelling narrative. It shows how easily we can be swept up by a story that promises adventure, romance, or escape. The villagers' willingness to believe in Caraboo reminds us that sometimes we choose to see what we hope is true, rather than what is real. Mary's ingenuity turned her into a folk hero, a survivor who used creativity to rewrite her fate. She wasn't just a trickster, she was an artist, crafting a new identity with every gesture and word. Her resourcefulness and imagination allowed her to transcend her circumstances, inspiring others to believe in the possibility of transformation. She didn't just lie, she created living art that captivated a nation. Her performance blurred the lines between reality and fiction, turning her life into a stage where anything seemed possible. Through her, people experienced the thrill of the unknown and the beauty of a well-told story. Her story blurs the line between truth and fiction, reminding us how easily we can be swept up by a good story. It challenges us to question what we accept as fact and to recognize the power of imagination in shaping our world. Even today, the legend of Caraboo invites us to reflect on the stories we tell ourselves and the ones we choose to believe. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the past. The tale of Mary Baker, the woman who became Princess Caraboo, is a reminder that history is full of surprises and that sometimes the most unbelievable stories are the ones that teach us the most about ourselves. If you love historical mysteries, subscribe for more incredible true stories. There are countless legends waiting to be uncovered, and together we can explore the wonders and secrets of the past.